Hi everyone and welcome you once again back to the channel. So in this video we are going to look at loops in C++ and generally in programming. So when we talk of loops, it's just a statement, code of statement that helps us to repeat the execution of an output. Okay, so maybe you have several number of output to give out, but instead of us to be doing it one by one, we just write a code statement for the compiler to do that repetition for us. Okay, so we basically have three types of the loops. We have a for loop, we have a while loop, and then we have a do while loop. It's almost always doing the same basic thing, just that there are some small bit of changes or differences between the three of them. So today we are actually going to look at the for loop. So we look at the while and the do while the next day. So this is basically how the for loop looks like. So we put in the keyword for, and then in between a parentheses we have this section. There are three sections within the parentheses. Three divisions, let me put it that way. So we have this one. So some people call it iteration, others call it initialization. Like, it depends. You just need to get the concept. Others also call it expression 1, expression 2, and then expression 3. So what we are interested in is to know what each of the three divisions is actually doing. So the first division, some call it iterator, others call it initializer or whatever. So what this one does is it initializes where we are actually starting our loop, like where we are starting with the code of repetition that we want to get. Okay, so if you could see from here, we have a variable over here, and then the variable name. Okay, so yeah, and then you give the value, initializer value, so the value that you want to start with, and we have the condition here. So this is where our code is actually going to execute if it is true, okay, or if it is the condition is met. So our code stops repeating only if the condition is false. Okay, and then the incrementer also, what it does is it determines how much we want the code, like we want the repetitions to move, like either we want it to move forward one, forward 2 by 2, or we want to reverse. Okay, so it depends. So normally we want to increment it with 1. That's why we see the plus plus over here. So if you don't know anything about the plus plus, I will leave a link in the description. You can check that out. So after this, then we have our statement over here, which is actually going to be executed. Okay, so this is how it works. When the code is run, the initializer or the iterator picks the first one, then it will check this condition. If the condition is met, then it executes this. So after the execution, the compiler gets back to here and then increment it. So if this was 0, it will be incremented to 1. And then after it is being incremented, it also checks the condition again. And then if it is still met, then it executes the next one. That's how the repetition is done. So we are actually going to take an example so that we see what we're talking about. So we will do the keyword for, then we bring our parentheses, and within this parentheses we have three divisions. That's the iterator or the initialization part, we have the condition part and an incremental part. So let's do an end variable, let's say code, let's say equal to 1, and then mind you, it is separated with a semicolon, okay, not a colon. So the divisions are separated with semicolon. So after this, I'm going to do a semicolon, then I'm going to give a condition, and I'll say code less than or equal to, let me do 20. Okay, then I'll separate it with a semicolon. Then I will do my incrementer. I'll also do its updation, whatever. Just get the concept. Okay, so I'll do code plus plus. Okay, so after that I'll bring my curly braces. Then my code statement to be executed if these conditions are met. So I'll do cout, let's say C++ is awesome. Okay, let me do code over here so that we could see the number of times each of them is being executed. So yeah, and DL. All right, so this is how it's going to work. We have our variable code over here, which is initialized to 1. So the program is actually going to take this one, check this condition, that is if the code is within the range from 1 to 20, and then we could see that 1 is within 20. So the statement over here is going to be executed. And after the statement has been executed, the compiler gets to this part and then increase the code plus 1. Okay, so when it is increased, this place is going to turn to 2, and then the compiler will come to this part and check if 2 is within 20, and if it's within 20, it executes again, and it will come here and then increases to 3, check if it's within it, then it executes. So it will do that, and then the only time it is going to stop is when after this one is being added to this, it is greater than 20. That is the condition over here is false. So let's go ahead, build this and run. Let's see what happens. All right, so you can see we have C++ is awesome 1, 2, 3 up to 20. Okay, so that's how the for loop is. And then mind you, this place I could also just bring it above in any way it's going to work. So I could do the int over here, int code. All right, so in this case too, it's going to work just as the other one. Okay, so you can see we have everything over here. All right, so this is basically how the for loop works. Okay, so if you have any questions or you didn't actually get anything, let me know in the comment section so I could reach out to you and then help you with everything. Let's see you in the next video and work on the while and the do while. Have a nice day. Bye bye.